After doing my research on some of the most famous supermodels that we all know and love, and let's be honest, aspire to be, I found that there were certain things that these supermodels did or had in common that I believe are some of the keys for why they look so good. Many of them eat very similarly, they train very similarly. And the fact that so many of them have similar habits leads one to believe that hey, maybe it works. Maybe there's a reason they keep doing these things, why we keep seeing the same eating habits and workout habits in these supermodels. So today, we're going to talk about 5 supermodel diet hacks that actually work. And I know because I tried them for myself. As someone who is not naturally thin and has to work pretty hard at it, I'm always interested in the habits of the naturally thin. So today, I'm going to share with you the 5 supermodel diet hacks that I found most of them had in common. Starting with number 1. They drink lemon water. This is something that I have noticed across the board that a lot of the supermodels, including Miranda Kerr, I think Candice Swanepoel, and many other models and even fitness influencers always talk about is drinking lemon water. Now, there are many claims that lemon water can have health benefits. Like some people claim that it is good for detoxing, it's good for your metabolism, or it's good for putting your body in a more alkaline state. Whether these claims are really true or not, I'm not entirely sure. I think that the evidence is kind of mixed on that. What I do know is that there's really nothing all that harmful about drinking hot lemon water. It's not bad tasting, and it's something that all these supermodels do on a regular basis. So, like I said, I figured if they're doing it on a regular basis, maybe there's something to it. And you know what? I think there is. I admit my go-to in the morning is coffee. I go straight to the coffee. I love my coffee. But I thought just for the sake of this experiment, I would try doing hot lemon water. And although it was kind of hard for me to do the hot lemon water before the coffee, I have to admit, the first time I tried it, I was like, you know what? This doesn't taste so bad. It did still kind of wake me up just because it was a good, comforting drink. And I also felt like there was just something that felt really good about it. It felt really healthy. Now, whether this is all just psychological, because like I said, I've heard all the claims, oh, it's good for your digestion, it's good for your metabolism. Whether all that's true or not, sometimes just psychologically, when you do something that you think is healthy for you, it makes you feel better about yourself. It makes you want to be healthier in other areas of your life. I have found this to be very true of exercise. I love to exercise, and some people will make the claim that exercise is not as important for weight loss or weight maintenance. It's all about your diet. And why, yes, that is very true. It is very much calories in, calories out. For me, that's not all exercise is about. Yes, it helps me burn calories and feel good about myself. But the biggest thing I have found is that when I exercise in the morning, it's one of the first things I do. It gets me in a good mood. It makes me feel healthy. It makes me feel disciplined. So it sets the tone for the rest of my day. If I miss a workout, then I am more likely to get off track. When I stay on track with my workouts, I feel better about myself. I'm more likely to want to eat healthier. And I found that drinking the lemon water had a similar effect. I think just because psychologically in my head, I was thinking, oh, this is healthy for me. What I also noticed though, is that when I drink lemon water throughout the day, because I'll be honest, drinking the lemon water first thing in the morning didn't really stick with me. Like I said, I love my coffee, but I decided, you know what, maybe I'll stick with some lemon water throughout the day. I'll try it that way. And what I found about that was that number 1, drinking a hot beverage of any kind is good for making you feel more satisfied. It can help curb cravings and it can help fill your stomach up. So when you are feeling just kind of snacky, like you know you don't need to eat, but you just want to keep snacking, having a warm beverage can really help with those cravings. And I think especially for lemon water, because lemon is so acidic, it is kind of like a palate cleanser. So I noticed when I drink lemon water after eating a meal, after eating a dessert, it really cleanses my palate. So if I just had a dessert, especially, right, and you're craving more because it's the sugar, gets you really addictive, I drink the lemon water and it helps to get that taste out of my mouth. It helps to, like I said, cleanse the palate and it makes me crave the sugar less. So whether or not it really is good for detox or your metabolism, I don't know. What I do know is that I think for me especially, it is more beneficiary to drink it throughout the day in between meals because it does help to satiate my appetite, helps to curb cravings. And I think it can really help with the food noise, especially if you just had something sweet or salty because it cleanses your palate. And so you're just less likely to crave that stuff and more likely to just go on about your day. Okay, the next supermodel diet hack is intermittent fasting. So supermodels, models in general, have very busy lifestyles and they don't always get to eat regular meals. So they may go hours without eating, depending on how their day is going, how long work is taking, because photo shoots can take hours. Bella Hadid, for example, has said that she will often drink juices in between meals because she doesn't have time to eat regular meals when she's working. And so she carries like a little mini fridge with her where she has all of her green juices and all of her other stuff to help hold her over until she gets to eat. Intermittent fasting, for those of you who may not know or not aware, is basically just eating all of your meals in a smaller window of time. So it could look like eating from 11 to 5 p.m. Instead of eating your first meal at 8 a.m., then having a snack a few hours later, having your lunch, then having your dinner through normal periods of the day, intermittent fasting just means a longer period without food. You may still eat the same amount of calories, but you eat those calories in a shorter period of time. And there have been many claims that it helps with your blood sugar, it can help with your metabolism, it helps you lose weight. And for a lot of people, it actually helps them eat less because when you are only allowed to eat within a certain window of time, you naturally just tend to eat less because there is only so much that you can eat in that period of time. And I know for a fact that models do this because I used to live with a bunch of models, and that was one of the biggest habits I noticed from many of them is that most of the time they were eating maybe one meal a day, maybe some snacks in between, not because they were trying to be the skinniest ever. It just was what it was. We were very young at the time, different kind of crazy lifestyles. And a lot of us would not eat until dinner time, until we went out to dinner, because that was just the routine. Now, I am no stranger to intermittent fasting because I actually have been doing it for a while. I experimented with this probably a few years ago when I was on my 35-pound weight loss journey as an adult. And honestly, I was surprised about like how quickly I got used to it and I saw the benefits almost right away. So for me, why I think intermittent fasting works is, like I said, when you eat all your food in a shorter window of time, there is only so much you can eat in that time. Like it is harder for you to excessively overeat. Unless you're trying to. I'm not saying it's not impossible. If you are eating your normal healthy foods, it's harder for you to overeat. I also find that when I eat all of my food in a shorter window of time, I feel more satiated because I am someone like I want to feel full and satisfied after I eat. Where I have found that sometimes breaking up my meals into smaller meals or smaller snacks throughout the day can actually leave me feeling a little bit hungrier because I don't feel as satisfied after each meal. And for me, especially, I think that it just kind of keeps my metabolism going. It keeps my appetite going. So when I keep my eating window to a shorter period of time, and for me, that looks like I usually eat my first meal around 11 and then my last meal maybe around 5 or 6 p.m. I find that I am less likely to overeat. I don't snack at nighttime. And because I eat more in one sitting, I feel more satiated and I don't feel the urge to snack. I don't get the food noise or the cravings quite as strong. Whereas if I was eating smaller meals throughout the day or smaller snacks, I would kind of be snacky all day long. So this is a really big one I have noticed from supermodels, models, and naturally skinny people alike is very few of them follow the standard like eating pattern. Naturally skinny people, models, they tend to eat when they're hungry or when they can. They don't eat just to eat or just because it's time to eat. And honestly, I think that is more natural behavior and more intuitive for us anyway as humans, and which is probably why it makes staying a healthy weight so much easier. Okay, number 3, eat half of your meal at a time. So this is something funny that I saw Jasmine Chooks do in a video she did with Romy Stride, is that how you say your name? I'm not sure. But she made a comment where she basically said that she gets full really fast. And so she will eat a little bit of her meal at one time and then go back to it later and finish the rest. And I have also noticed this with other naturally skinny people is that very often they do have very small appetites. And so while they eat everything that they want, they do eat it in smaller portions. Then they stop when they're full and then eat again when they're hungry. So this was definitely hard one for me. Okay. Because like I said, I am someone that I like to feel satisfied, but I thought I would give it a go. Basically what this looked like for me was me refraining from eating everything on my plate at once, eating half of it, putting it in the fridge for a while, and then just kind of getting busy doing some other stuff before I went back to it. And I admit it wasn't my favorite thing to do because I ate half my meal and I was like, well, this kind of sucks, right? But if I was honest, I wasn't starving anymore after eating half my meal, but I wasn't totally satisfied. But for the sake of this experiment, I gave it a shot, put my food away, got busy, did some other stuff. And surprisingly, what I found is that after I put the food away and I got busy doing other things, I noticed that I did feel pretty satisfied. Like I wasn't overly full, but I also wasn't super hungry. I felt pretty good. Then a few hours later, if I started to feel hungry again, I was like, oh, I have the rest of my food in the fridge. So I went back and I ate the rest of my food. So, why I think that this works or can work for some people is because by doing it this way, by eating in smaller portions or eating only half of your meal at a time, you will probably find that you naturally tend to eat less than normal. So, if you are someone right now who is overweight or obese and is struggling with overeating, imagine if you were to only eat half of what you normally eat. You'd lose weight. You would naturally eat less food throughout the day. And that is what I found when I tried this experiment is that I realized like, okay, sometimes I do overeat. Sometimes I don't need to eat everything on my plate at one time. And by me eating in smaller portions and then portioning it throughout the day, instead of me eating that whole lunch at one time and then a few hours later eating something else, instead what I did was eat only half of that meal at one time and then a few hours later ate the other half. So naturally, you reduce your calorie count that way. And I think that this can work whether you are intermittent fasting or not, because even if you are intermittent fasting and let's say you have a 5 or 6 hour eating period, sometimes some people will use that eating period to just eat whatever they want, however much they want in that time period. But like I said, if you are someone who struggles with overeating, but then you make a rule to halve your meals, you may find that surprisingly, you can feel more satisfied on smaller portions and that you naturally and more easily reduce your calorie intake. Speaking of calories, food, and diet, this is the perfect time to introduce you to today's sponsor, Nourish. Okay, you guys know how I feel about certain online dietitians, but as much as I joke about certain online anti-diet dietitians, that doesn't mean I don't respect dietitian as a profession. And for many people, working with a registered dietitian can actually be really helpful when it comes to finding out a diet that works best for their body and their health goals. Which is why I'm excited to be partnering with Nourish. Nourish makes it incredibly easy to connect with a registered dietitian via virtual appointments. No need to schedule a doctor's appointment just to get a referral and then have to wait weeks just to see someone. With Nourish, you can quickly book through the app and connect with hundreds of dietitians who specialize in things like PCOS, insulin resistance, food allergies, and more. The first time I used Nourish, I spoke with a dietitian who specialized in food allergies. As someone with multiple food allergies, I actually learned some really helpful things from the dietitian I spoke with, like how certain food allergies can sometimes be connected to issues with the gut microbiome, and how healing the gut can actually help make those food allergies or sensitivities go away. She also explained that food allergies can change over time and recommended getting updated blood work just to test for my current food allergies. And what's really convenient is that Nourish dietitians can actually order the blood work for you and help you interpret the results, all from home. But one of the biggest benefits of Nourish is that appointments are covered by most insurance companies in the US. They're also really transparent about their billing. With the Nourish guarantee, you won't pay anything up front for your first appointment. For example, even if your insurance ends up not being accepted, you still won't pay for that first appointment. The app itself is also super easy to use. Beyond scheduling appointments, it includes meal plans, recipes, a food journal, appointment notes, billing information, and more, all in one place. So if you've been feeling stuck, overwhelmed, or stressed about your diet and health goals, check out the link in the description below to get started with Nourish. With your first appointment covered, you really have nothing to lose. Okay, supermodel diet hack number 4. Drink more smoothies. Okay, so this is something that I noticed particularly with Miranda Kerr and Candace Swanepoel. Smoothies and drinking green juices can be a great way to get a lot of vitamins and minerals in a shorter period of time because lots of fruits and veggies are very fibrous and you would have to eat and chew a higher volume of fruits and veggies to get the same amount of nutrients that you get by drinking a tasty smoothie. And in particular with the supermodels, they don't just drink the green juices and fruit and veggie smoothies, but they also add a lot of different supplements to their smoothies. So they add a lot of collagen powder, protein powder, other additional vitamins and supplements that are supposedly very good for you, at least for them and their health and their needs. Smoothies tend to be a really common thing that a lot of the models drink, whether it's in the morning for their breakfast or while they're on the go. And I can see why there are a lot of benefits. Like I said, they can be very healthy for you. You can get a lot of nutrients, a lot of supplements in one go. It's also probably easier to take with them when they're on the go and they have busy schedules. So I definitely understand why they do them. Me personally, I'm not much of a smoothie person. I don't not like them. I just usually prefer to eat my food instead of drink them. However, like for the sake of this experiment, I decided to try it. And Honestly, yeah, I mean, I get the hype. So I love fruits and veggies. I have no problem eating those, and I do like the taste of smoothies. They do taste very healthy for me. They're very hydrating. They've got a lot of antioxidants, a lot of electrolytes. So taste-wise, I have no problem drinking them. And as far as supplements go, yeah, it is a good way to get your supplements all in one go instead of having to take them separately or mix them in water. I personally don't take a ton of supplements just because I have a lot of dietary issues and food allergies, so I have to be careful. Two things I do take though are collagen powder and I take creatine. So I added those to my smoothies, and I did find it to be an easier and tastier way to get those supplements. I also found that smoothies, surprisingly, are very filling because you are putting a lot of fruit and veggies in them at the same time. Me personally, I used coconut milk and water. Although sometimes if I have a fruit juice, like an orange juice, I might put a little bit of orange juice in there. Any kind of mixed berries. I put a lot of greens in mine. You really can't go too wrong when you're making a smoothie. It's pretty much any kind of veggie and fruit that you like that tastes good together. And because smoothies have so much fiber, so much nutrients, higher water content, they are very filling while also being really low in calories. So if you are trying to be in a calorie deficit, I think that can be a really good hack because you get something that's filling, but also lower in calories. What I also found, like with the lemon water, when I drink these smoothies, it made me feel healthy. It just does. Whenever you drink a smoothie and it's packed full of nutrients and it's this beautiful color and it tastes so yummy, something about it makes you feel pretty good. And it's just that psychological feeling that, okay, I'm doing something healthy. I'm doing something the supermodels are doing that makes you feel good about yourself and want to do good for yourself. So, totally get why the supermodels do it. Totally love the idea of them putting all their supplements and stuff in their smoothies. It's great for your skin, great for your hair, great for your digestive system. Yeah, I can see why it's something that most of them do on a regular basis and maybe something that we should try to adopt into our regular diet. Okay, the fifth supermodel diet hack is kind of piggybacking off of the smoothies and the green juices. So, one of the more common things that I noticed about all of the supermodels is they do take a lot of supplements. They do a lot of protein powder, they do the collagen, they do whatever. They do all the little powders in their green juices and their smoothies. And I'm sure they do that for numerous reasons. They're all kind of supplements to preserve your hair, your skin, your teeth, all of things that are important for a model. So, from doing all that research and learning about what the supermodels are doing, especially Miranda Kerr, because she's like super into all the health food stuff. She even has like an organic like beauty line, which I haven't checked out yet. I might have to because her skin looks amazing. But it really inspired me to get into taking more supplements, the ones that I know I can. So I have been really into taking collagen lately, and I have found that when I add collagen powder to my coffee or to my smoothies, to my drinks, just a little bit, even like a scoop at a time throughout the day, what I have found is that it actually helps fill me up and keep me satiated in between meals. So I have to be careful with a lot of the things that I eat and drink because of my food allergies. So there are a lot of supplements, especially protein powders, that I cannot have because I'm allergic. Collagen, though, I can have. And collagen is an incomplete protein, I know. However, I have found that when I add it to my coffee, especially because I do intermittent fasting, I usually, like I said, don't usually eat my first meal until like 11, that it does help to hold me over. It just gives me a little more substance. I even like the way it tastes in my coffee. It just kind of gives it more of like a creamy texture. I've also noticed that especially a few months leading up to my wedding when I was really consistent with drinking the collagen in my coffee, I do feel like my skin got a little bit better. It did feel a little bit brighter. Could be totally untrue. I don't know, but that's how I felt. And, at the end of the day, it doesn't hurt you. I think it only helps you. It is protein and it is good for your bones and for your teeth and for your hair. But more importantly, for diet and weight loss, it did help to keep me feeling fuller longer. And I know that's why a lot of people, a lot of supermodels will drink protein drinks throughout the day as well, because they help keep you feeling full. And if you are feeling more satiated, you are less likely to want to snack or overeat. So that is something that I have been continuing to do and will continue to do. And honestly, it's such an easy hack. It's such an easy way to get a little bit of extra protein to hopefully help reduce your appetite that it's kind of like, why not try it, right? Okay, so just to recap, the 5 supermodel diet hacks. 1, drink more lemon water. 2, try intermittent fasting. 3, Eat smaller portions. Eat half your meal at a time. 4, drink more green juices and smoothies, particularly with more protein powder and more supplements. And 5, find ways to add more protein powder or collagen protein to your daily routine, to your coffee, to your juices, to even your water. You can even mix it with water. Doesn't taste that great, but I've tried it. Honestly, I think most of these habits are pretty attainable. I also think they're very sustainable, nothing toxic about them, and may explain why the supermodels look so good. After all, we are a result of our habits. If we want to look good, do good, feel good, then we need better habits. We need healthier habits. Anyhow, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope it was a little bit helpful. If you did enjoy this video, then please be sure to give me a like and subscribe to my channel for more content like this. And of course, check me out on Patreon, where I post more frequently and post more videos that YouTube doesn't allow on here. So if you are interested in checking that out, I will leave all the links below. You will also find the link to Nourish app below. If you think that it's something that may be helpful for you, try it. Your first appointment is pretty much guaranteed free. So what do you have to lose, right? Anyhow, guys, thanks again for watching, and I will see you next time.
Thanks so much for watching. If you are looking for more unfiltered content from me, definitely check out my Patreon. That's where I post the videos that are a little too controversial for YouTube, including videos that have been deleted, demonetized, or that I simply didn't feel comfortable posting publicly here. But beyond the extra content, Patreon has honestly become a really amazing community. Inside the Discipline Club tier, we do monthly challenges focused on weight loss, discipline, fitness, mindset, and self-improvement. The goal is not just to lose weight. It's to genuinely become the best version of yourself and get in the best shape of your life alongside other people who are trying to do the same thing. So if you want more accountability, motivation, behind the scenes content, and a group of people pushing toward the same goals, I would love to have you there. And if you mainly just want access to bonus videos and extra content from me, I also have Spotify subscriptions now. That option is more simple and video focused without all the additional community features and challenges from Patreon. Find the links to both my Patreon and Spotify subscriptions below. Thanks again for watching, guys, and I'll see you next time.